So it's time to continue the broken record phrases that we have had for like 5 years in the making. The Mets have failed to provide power protection for their all-star slugging first baseman, Pete Alonso, since the very beginning. With a wide selection of power options on the free agent market, the Mets have reportedly been eyeing veteran bat JD Martinez as a potential DH target. The Mets are among 3 teams in on Martinez, along with the Angels and Diamondbacks, who are also looking to add an impact bat to their lineup. Up with the likes of David Ortiz and Yordan Alvarez, Martinez has cemented himself as one of the best designated hitters of this generation across 13 years, slashing .287, .350, .424 with a career 132 weighted runs created plus, with over 300 career home runs, over 1,000 runs batted in over 1,500 games played. Last year, Martinez added another career year to his ledger after signing a 1-year deal with the Dodgers, posting an .893 OPS with 62 extra base hits and smashing 36 home runs across 479 plate appearances in 2023. This isn't the first time the Mets have been linked to the 36-year-old Martinez, as they reportedly tried to acquire him at the 2022 trade deadline before backing off due to a high asking price from Boston. Since the universal DH was implemented, the Mets have had 11 different players suited up in the position, as Mets DHs are 23rd in batting average, 18th in OPS, 20th in home runs, and 22nd in weighted runs created plus in that span.
For me, it's another situation where you look at what the Mets have in-house, you look at some of the other names that are available. JD Martinez, I like him. He isn't my first option, though. I mean, I've been on board saying that, obviously I prefer a Jorge Soler. I prefer a Jock Peterson. I'd rather them target those guys who are a little younger. But what I do like about JD Martinez, it may be an old saying, but perennial all-star. You can't say that about pretty much any other Mets hitter, other than Pete Alonso and Lindor. But other than that, a lot of these guys for DH, you can't say anyone. And I just think that it's such a risk for me if I'm going to actually be employing DJ Stewart almost every day with some Mark Vientos. And Vientos, again, he has power. There's no doubt about it. But consistently, and has he gotten the consistent playing time to do it? Not enough. So I think, again, if you want to do a 1-year deal, like we say, no such bad thing as a 1-year deal, he will give you so much more than what everybody else on this team gives. I just think that this team has such a glaring weakness, such a glaring need. He fits it. And if it's a 1-year deal, how could you say no? That's the way I view it. So despite the age, the fact that he had a better year than 2021, I think is a good sign, because it's one thing that, 2022, he had the bad second half. Maybe his back was bothering him, things like that. But the fact that he was better than 2021 at his advanced age, I think that's a really good sign. Yes, he did it with the Dodgers, but this guy gave you over 30 home runs in only 113 games. I mean, that's really good. So I think that, again, he's someone who teams, they game plan for. They say, okay, we really don't want to face JD Martinez in a really good position, which is what they need after Pete Alonso. Someone who pitchers will think twice about just grooving 1-2. Meanwhile, the guys have batted behind him. We've talked about it extensively. Dominic Smith, Darren Roth, all these guys, Daniel Vogelback. No fear. I mean, it's like, you know what? Don't need to pitch to Alonso. We'll just face a bum right after him. That's not the case with JD Martinez. So I feel like just the fact that he gives you that presence that we've been talking about for 1 year, I mean, how's that not work out? So to me, I think it's a pretty seamless fit, but we'll see what happens.
I mean, you say perennial all-star, I would just say, like, at the top of my head, just say perennial shit wrecker. Like, this guy has just been so good for so long.
And against lefties too, which is what the Mets have always needed. Every year he's always very, very good against left-handed pitching. So again, he makes the fit even better.
Yeah, he can also hit right-handed, but like, isn't it crazy to have like
exactly,
that, like you can do both? Like a balanced hitter. Like,
I'm more for it because I prefer this much better than Justin Turner, because the DH, I get why people want Turner. Oh, they have the insurance with JD or Beatty and whoever the hell's playing third base. Yes, but I've always viewed it as just, who do I want as my DH? Not giving a shit about helping young players. Who do I can put in that position to fuck shit up? Justin Turner could have a very nice year. Would he be, he'll have the higher batting average or whatever. JD Martinez, I know, can hit 25 to 30 homers guaranteed in this ballpark. And again, leadership value. I don't give a shit about this crap. You do that when you're
He has, and that's the thing though. He has great leadership.
yes.
He's actually an awesome clubhouse guy.
Do I give a shit about that? No. But when I'm putting a team together, I just want talent. Yes, there's some locker room stuff. There are specific guys, obviously, on the free agent market you don't want to touch. Yes. But when you're at a point in a Pete Alonso walkie and an unknown, again, if you are trying to compete, like we say it all the time, like we've talked about in the pitching, why are you settling for the second or third best option? If you find you want somebody, and if they're not going on Soler, because Soler probably gets a 4-year deal, Teo's probably getting a 4-year deal, especially what Lord has set the market as. If they're not willing to go to that, and we'll get to a guy we're going to talk about in the next segment, I would prefer JD and that guy than, let's say, Justin Turner and pick one of the shittier outfielders. Like, Kiermaier's off the board, but pick your, like, lesser outfielders because they're not going to go out and get Teo or even Soler as much as we might pound the frickin' ground for it. He's going to get term, and the Mets are allergic to term for, a guy who most of the time a DH, yes, he can play the corner. He's not great. But for me, if you go out and get the best option and if this is what they value, and if you are trying to compete, then this is the guy. If you're developing bullshit, then go with Justin Turner. But if this is the move to say, you know what, we are trying to compete. We want to protect Pete. We want to make this lineup better. And this is a guy who's proven it in the postseason, has proven it stretches. He can wreck a 2-month stretch. We saw it when he went to Arizona. This is a game changer. Yes, that's 2018? When did he get traded to Arizona? 2018, 17? After the deadline? 2017. So, like, he can carry a team like he did. Plus, you would put that bat, again, he would be kind of the third or fourth most important bat because you would say, obviously, Pete, Lindor. You could arguably Nimmo and him could be battling for that 3 and 4 spot, a most valuable bat in the lineup. And if you are trying to compete, this is the piece you want to go out because, again, you're not saying, oh, we want this guy because, he can help develop a third base position. Like, no. You go out and get JD Martinez because he's the best bat for the DH position.
Yeah, I mean, it's just one of the best of the generation at that position. Like, if you are looking to fix something, you might as well get the best one out of there. And to be honest, if they do get somebody like JD Martinez, that gives you a little bit more hope of they're trying to make a little bit more of a competitive team than you thought. Like, yeah, we've seen them connected to a few other pieces on the market, nothing like too crazy, especially with bats. This is one of the first bats that we've seen the Mets actually connected to. What I really liked, I mean, this guy had 1700 OPS when he hits the ball in the air last year. I mean, for God's sake, I mean, we have not seen somebody like that besides Pete Alonso who's been able to do that. And I mean, that's a career high when he puts the ball in the air. Like, that was a career high by miles. I mean, again, I understand, and it is the Dodgers, and the Dodgers have been able to get the best out of players, but we've seen a really sustainable career from JD Martinez where, yeah, if he's not playing the field, you can get a lot of production. If you're putting this guy in the 5 spot, if you're putting this guy in the 4 spot to protect Pete Alonso, this is a feared hitter you can put behind him. The only problem I've always had with JD Martinez, it's always been the health. He just always scares the living crap out of me. And especially if this is going to be your main bat to protect Pete Alonso, which, I mean, I hope they get 2, but you know what? If you're going to get one that has power, then you know what? Beggars can't be choosers at this point because I've just needed that secondary power source for a long time. But if this is the guy that you're going to go after, if he's hurt, I mean, what do you got protecting him? I understand you got some young players and Vientos and this and that, but the unproven guys who we have seen, especially like if he gets hurt at the wrong time, like come postseason time, that sucks. Like, that really does suck. But from what the results that we've seen throughout his entire career, and it doesn't seem like he's slowing down anytime soon, regarding the Mets curse or whatever, it's someone you can definitely bring in. I'm scared of the health. I'm always scared of the health, but as long as you're not putting him out there in the outfield, as long as you're not having him do extra shit, I'm fine with it. If you get JD Martinez and another outfielder, I'm fine. But if JD Martinez is going to be your right fielder after Marte has like another injury or something, that's an issue. That is definitely an issue. I'm not putting a 37-year-old JD Martinez in right field to replace an already banged up Starling Marte who has regressed this last year. So if the Mets are looking at this as just a pure DH option, and I looked at it as a pure DH, this is going to be what Daniel Vogelbach was doing, but just better and actually talented and not fat. Replacing that, going from Daniel Vogelbach to JD Martinez, instant upgrade no matter what. Whether he struggles or not, he still will provide. I will 100% guarantee you that a struggling JD Martinez would produce way better than Daniel Vogelbach at his best.
And Darren Ruff, because don't forget they were a team. You know, against lefties, you had Ruff out there. Meanwhile, no matter what, you have JD
And against
Martinez.
lefties, yep.
So you'd better than both of them. Come on.
There's a few things that concern me about JD Martinez. He's not the number one guy I would go after, but I know that if he sees a pitch in the strike zone, he's going to swing at it. A guy who's been in the league for a long time. He has good pitch selection and good pitch recognition. He's been a good hitter for a long time. And listen, this is the guy right here. If you want to put him behind Alonso, he's also got the postseason experience. And if you are looking for postseason bats that do well in the postseason, JD Martinez is that guy. And I definitely will be a little bit more confident in what they're building into this lineup if they were to bring in somebody like JD Martinez. If they have JD Martinez, DJ Stewart's got to start in AAA. As much as I like DJ Stewart as a solid bat, I mean, are you guys good? Would you be good with DJ Stewart like backing up JD Martinez if he were to get hurt?
I don't think you sign two strictly DHs when it comes to when you're approaching the
DJ Stewart can play
so,
some of the outfield, but I'm just saying.
Yeah, he can. No, that's what I'm saying. That's
why that JD Martinez is going to miss some time. You know he will.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying.
He has
I'm
like
okay
those
with
bang-ups.
Stewart being the backup because you're not going to sign two DHs. Like, I'm not going to sign JD and sign another DH so that then DJ Stewart's the number 3 option. So, because right now, my fear is that DJ Stewart may end up in the outfield. So that's why they need multiple bats because, again, they have multiple openings. So you can't have 2 guys in one spot.
I'm trying to figure out, like, if they have, I mean, they've talked about wanting to on an outfielder and a DH as 2 separate things, which I'm happy that they are doing that.
Well, I'm hoping that they don't think that Tyrone Taylor is that outfielder.
Yeah, I think they see him as a 4th outfielder because I think Stearns had him in Milwaukee and he was a 4th outfielder there. So I don't think he's going to try to push him beyond that capacity. I mean, he's 28 years old. They know what type of player he is. So if he is your starting right fielder, your starting left fielder, that's an issue. But I'm going to hope that they go onto this market and get somebody else that can start in left field or right field because Tyrone Taylor, solid 4th outfielder, but I do not want to be seeing him start on a regular basis.